So if you are thinking about the Costa del Sol, here is the reason why Benalmádena could be the place for you. Warner and I are here at our beautiful home in Benalmádena, and we are going to talk you through the 4 key reasons why we believe Benalmádena should not be overlooked. Thank you for stopping by. So Warner, great topic.
Great topic, and it's my hometown in Benalmádena, so I love it.
Yeah, we love talking about Benalmádena and really diving into why we believe it's great. So let's jump to it. Let's just cut to the chase. So we feel that Benalmádena should get more hype. Okay, so let's talk about that. Why do we believe that Benalmádena is sometimes a location that's overlooked and, it should get more hype?
Yeah, I think it goes back, many years ago when they were looking at Torremolinos, Benalmádena as in your holiday, your 2-week
Package holiday.
your package holiday. So I think because Torremolinos was the first place in the Costa del Sol, kind of because Benalmádena and Torremolinos are quite close together, it got a reputation of being that package holiday area. I think now, as we know, Benalmádena has, for me, Benalmádena has it all. Whatever you're looking for, you can find the property in Benalmádena.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm hearing is it's back to that thing that it's had a bit of a reputation of being associated as a holiday town and not necessarily somewhere that people have typically associated as being a destination for all year round living. And it's a fantastic location for all year round living because it has something for everybody. If you are a family relocating to Benalmádena and you've identified that Benalmádena is going to be your home for the foreseeable future, you've got great access to fantastic international schools. It really is a town that's great for families to integrate and grow up in. But also, if you are planning to retire here, there's a fantastic community that will adopt you and embrace you to really allow you to embrace life in Benalmádena and, enjoy your days and time here. So it really is more than just that holiday destination that typically it has been, I guess, associated with, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think early 1990s, people started to buy their second homes here. A lot of exposure from the UK. They came over, bought their homes, and it just kind of spiraled from there. Most of the clients that I'm speaking to now, are looking to sell the property. They've had it for 15 and 20 years. Now it's time they want to pass it on now to the next person. So yeah, but the change from from then till now has just been amazing. Because it does cater for any type of buyer.
Yeah.
Which looking at the Costa del Sol, I don't think there's anywhere in the Costa del Sol that could cater for every type of buyer. But I think, I might be biased, but I think it's one of the only areas in the Costa del Sol that has it all.
Yeah. When we talk about have it all, we've talked about the community element, the family element, integrating your life and really being adopted by the community. But I guess we can't also overlook things like transport and logistics. You're on the main train line from Benalmádena, which is really icing on the cake. You get to Málaga Airport, you jump on that train line and you're in Benalmádena in 15 minutes, which is a massive bonus. And also you're very quick to close to Málaga and Málaga Airport if you want to get there by bus. Like from our home right now, which is really close to Arroyo de la Miel, which is an area in Benalmádena, we're 13 kilometers from the airport. So that's a massive benefit for anybody that needs to travel often, needs to travel for work, or needs to have, close proximity to an airport to get back home, etc. So, it's phenomenal. But also, we can't overlook the lifestyle that it gives you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And when I speak to a lot of clients, and some clients that have never been to Benalmádena, and they come here and they're just so intrigued because maybe they've been holidaying in different areas in Spain and everything else. But for what it gives them, you can have beautiful 5-star hotels, you can have apartments, great swimming pool. But the thing about it is that you can walk everywhere,
Yeah.
which is one of the main attractions. You know, if you want to walk to the beautiful Puerto Marina, you can. You know, Arroyo de la Miel, where the train station is. And then obviously if you're athletic, you can take a walk up to Benalmádena Pueblo area as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it opens people's eyes when they actually come here and see what it has for them and their family.
Yeah, we've seen so many people come that have identified or earmarked a different location on the Costa del Sol, but when they start to understand what Benalmádena has to offer, they're soon converted. I agree with you. Accessibility, walkability, safety. Safety is a fundamental benefit, in my opinion, when it comes to Benalmádena. But, you know, I think we've talked a lot about now why it's great, but let's get to the nitty gritty now in terms of what do you actually get for your money in Benalmádena. So we see multiple different price points in Benalmádena. I think it could be good to jump in and explore those a little bit in terms of what are the price points that you see in the market.
Yeah, so let's look at the second home buyer or the investor. They would be looking for either a studio, a one bedroom or a two bedroom. You know, they might want to rent that out. So in relation, if they have about 200,000 euros, they could get, you know, a one bedroom apartment in the Arroyo area, close to everything and walking distance everywhere. I call this the first step in the ladder because most of the people, when they buy this type of property in a few years, they decide to upgrade when they know the area, they know everything. You know, the first stage would be just to purchase that one and just try it out for a few years.
So 200,000 gets you a one bedroom apartment, central location that you can use as your second home in the sun. Your family can enjoy the memories there, depending on the area or the community, and we can go into this in a minute. You may have the ability to be able to rent it out if the community allows that and use it for some investment. But 200,000, great respectable amount. You can expect in the Benalmádena area to get a decent one bedroom apartment for that. You know, where else in the world are you going to enjoy the benefits that Benalmádena and the Costa del Sol has to offer for 200,000? I think that's amazing. So next price point then, you know, if we have a little bit more money in our pocket and, you know, maybe we're looking at the 250 to 400,000 mark in Benalmádena, what can you expect to get?
Well, Benalmádena has an amazing park. It's called Parque La Paloma, and it's a focal point of Benalmádena. So all around there is different types of houses. They're not like high rise, but they're about 5 high. They have really good facilities, great swimming pools, and for people that don't want to be in the hustle and bustle of, you know, the Bonanza area or Arroyo, they actually like that area because it's like a home from home.
Sure.
So when they feel they come there, you know, they have the facilities, but obviously there's residents living there as well, and they feel part of the community. So that area would be round about your 300, 400,000 euros at that time.
So you're walking distance to the beach in that area, you're probably overlooking the park, you're walking distance to the train station, but let's talk about the actual property. So like, what am I going to get in terms of bricks and mortar?
Different properties there, but you're looking from a 2-bedroom, round about, you know, 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, you know, with a nice view over the pool or anything like that, you're looking around 300,000. But you also have the opportunity to go like a 3-bedroom or a 3-bedroom duplex.
Sure.
So there's all types of properties there. There's even penthouses. So, you know, if you were flush, you could spend over 500,000 on a penthouse.
Yeah.
But that area, it's all about location, and, you know, people love it because it's next to the park and it's next to the beach.
It's a functional area. It's really practical. And I think irregardless of whatever your plan is for Spain, whether it's a permanent relocation with your family, it's a second home, it's to retire, it's to work towards your retirement plan, that area will suit you. I totally agree. And you usually, for that price point, I think it's worth mentioning, will get your own parking space and a storage unit too, which is, you know, fantastic.
Especially in the summer.
Yes, yes, absolutely. We can't underestimate that. But, that's only one element. But, you'll also get something newer. So if you want, for that price point, just under that 400,000, if you want something new, shiny, sleek, you can get something brand new in Benalmádena for that price point, right?
Yeah, so if you're looking at just between the border of Benalmádena and Fingal, you have an area called El Higueron. If you were looking in that area, you're looking for new, modern, open plan with nice views, then that area would be, but they start from 400,000, they can go up to millions.
Yeah,
So,
and that's one of the new areas. And I guess, Higueron offers lots. Live, work, play, I think, is the logo. And it definitely centres around that. Fantastic facilities, sleek apartments, good amenities. It's great. But there is also smaller developments around Benalmádena, close to Zanet International Hospital. We had the Mane development recently. We've had Blossom in Benalmádena Pueblo. There's multiple to talk about, but all achievable to obtain around that price point, which is fantastic. Again, another benefit. Where are you going to get sleek, shiny, new anywhere else on the Costa del Sol for, under 400,000?
no, exactly 400,000 to get a brand new apartment, because Benalmádena, most of the properties were built in the 1970s at the coast, and then they came forward. So if they can get a plot of land and have a new property there, then fantastic.
It's a good point. Right, next price band then. I think we've talked about, what we would call entry level price in Benalmádena, 200,000 up to 400,000. Now let's look at like 500,000, just under 1 million. What can you expect to get in Benalmádena with your check for that price point?
So then you would be looking at Arroyo de la Miel. This is between Benalmádena Costa and Benalmádena Pueblo. It's around that area. And you have an opportunity, you could get like a 3-bedroom villa starting from maybe 550, going up to, I've seen ones up to around 2 million. Then you have like Arroyo de la Miel, the centre, where if you wanted to be in the hustle and bustle with the centre, you could find a property there. There's different options for.
Just to cut in on that, I think that's an interesting price bucket, right? 500,000 to 900,000. I think that, in my opinion, and please correct me if I'm wrong, if we have 500,000 to 700,000, you would probably get a really decent apartment around Torrequebrada, more that luxury apartment, golf course views, all of that. But you also could get a townhouse in that area for that, with nice outside space for that budget, well maintained, good condition. Now, I think if you're going to be going to the 700,000 up to 900,000, then I agree with you. You can probably get your hands on a villa. And if you're going towards villa for that price point, you're looking at Monte Alto, Arroyo, Veracruz, all of those well-known areas in Benalmádena, but you're going to be obtaining a property, if you're going for a villa at that price point in Benalmádena, that's likely going to be old and require some modernisation. I think it's important for expectation management that, you'll get a villa for that, but the likelihood is it's
going to need 200,000.
You're going to need to do a bit of work. But great, like I think Monte Alto, Veracruz areas, Arroyo, like you've got great areas there where you can get villas or houses and you can still be really central, so the location is really practical. But if we go back to the band that we talked about, that 500,000 to 700,000, and we go kind of again then Torrequebrada, golf, you're getting that golf living, which Benalmádena also offers in abundance, right?
Yeah, Torrequebrada offers it all. There's about 3 international schools in that vicinity as well. So
great
if
point.
the people were looking to relocate, bring their children, then Torrequebrada also has the centre, nice restaurants. You've got Trocadero, which is one of the most famous restaurants in Torrequebrada. So you have an opportunity, and then you're surrounded by the golf course, which is great. So that means that all the apartments, more or less will have like golf views. So that is a lovely area, but you're still quite close to the beach as well.
It's a great area. And you see a lot of international families settling in that area because of what it offers. And the dog's here, actually, because, as I said, we're at home. So he's agreeing with you. He's making lots of noises. Thanks, Teddy, for your input. Okay, so listen then, we have the kind of last bucket. So we've got 1 million plus, right? So let's really dive into what do you get in Benalmádena for 1 million plus?
You get beautiful houses,
Or apartments.
Or apartments, yeah. It depends. 1 million is a great budget. Maybe in Marbella, 1 million isn't a great budget, but 1 million in Benalmádena, you have the choice.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. I love when clients say my budget's 1 million, because I'm like, yes, I can't wait to show you these amazing properties that you can get, because these people are probably been looking online in different areas.
Yeah.
And they've came across Benalmádena because either the vicinity to Malaga is great, or you have the Norwegian school, which brings a lot of Scandinavian buyers here.
Yeah.
So they would pinpoint that. And, for 1 million euros, there's an abundance of properties and choices.
Yeah. I think for 1 million, you can expect to get a luxury apartment, penthouse, potentially frontline beach. You're definitely going to acquire that. But if you then want to move more to a villa or a house, you're going to get space with sea views for that price point in Benalmádena.
Yeah.
Show me another location on the Costa del Sol where you will get the same quality of house and space that you can get in Benalmádena for that budget. You have choice.
Absolutely.
I completely agree with you. So we've talked about prices, we've deep dived in everything from the 200,000 up to the 1 million. I'd like to just pick your brain a little bit more now when it comes to the areas, because when you were going through the prices there, I heard you mention and reference the different areas in Benalmádena, but I want to put a bit more context on those for people and maybe talk about what's good about those different areas. So the first area I have on my list here, Warner, is Benalmádena Costa. Like, describe it. What do you get in Benalmádena Costa?
What you get in Benalmádena Costa, like our villas in Benalmádena Costa, so like we walk to a place called Avenida Palmeiras, and I think there must be like 50 restaurants, cafe, bars, it is just an amazing street. You can have every type of food, but at the end of the day, I don't need a car because I can walk straight down there. We can walk to the beach, we have our walks in the morning. So Benalmádena Costa, then you have the parks, the Paloma Park that I spoke about as well. They are building another big park. It's supposed to be the lung of Benalmádena. So and that's going to go from Benalmádena Costa all the way to Torrequebrada. So that will connect those two places together. Yeah. Everything's at hand.
Yeah.
In Benalmádena Costa, you have the beautiful Puerto Marina.
Yeah.
With all the restaurants and everything else. So everything is at hand and easy to get to.
Absolutely. But it's fair to say Benalmádena Costa is where you're going to see more of the tourist vibe. So if you're not interested in that, particularly in high season, maybe Benalmádena Costa isn't the place for you. But proximity to the beach, proximity to the park, proximity to the marina, beach views, you're going to get that in abundance. But if you like the quieter pace of life and don't want to have so much hustle and bustle, particularly in summertime, it's potentially not for you, right?
No. That's potentially not, definitely not.
So Benalmádena Costa, we're down on the coast, so let's visualize it. Let's go a step back. Then we're going to get up towards Arroyo de la Miel, which we love.
Yeah.
So it's where our office is. It's the local town where the train station is. I don't know, it's great.
Yeah, you have the Spanish culture.
Yeah.
You have the typical, when you're thinking about Spain, you have the people in the coffee bars, drinking wine, just everybody congregating together. That's where they have all the ferias, and Arroyo is just the focal point of Benalmádena, and it kind of, if you're looking at the Benalmádena Costa, then you go into Arroyo, you're kind of getting a bit of both. You're getting the beach side, but then you're getting the culture and, the wine bars, the tapas bars, to try the different foods, and also the train station, which is important.
Yeah, Arroyo is amazing. From a property point of view, then, if you want to be close, if you want to be in the centre, if you want to have access to bars, restaurants, coffee shops, banks, jump on the train station and have access to other destinations, well, it really is a great location for you. Particularly if you want to be able to walk everywhere, if you don't want a car. I would
Yeah.
always say Arroyo is fantastic. You're probably going to get some sea views if you're lucky enough to be
Yeah.
located kind of high up, but you're predominantly looking at beautiful mountain views when you go there. And then let's take a step back even further. So we get to the train station, we're in Arroyo de la Miel, we're enjoying our coffee there. We want to go further afield, then we're going up and we hit Benalmádena Pueblo.
Beautiful. Benalmádena Pueblo is the old town in Benalmádena, and you know, we love getting up there. It's got the church that we got married in, so with the old town there. It's got beautiful restaurants, really more traditional than Arroyo, and it has the most spectacular views of the whole coast.
Yeah, it's the older village. It's very traditional, beautiful cobble streets, white buildings, the perfect place to sit and enjoy a beautiful evening meal and just sit and watch the world go by.
Yeah.
You can always DM us and ask us for some restaurant recommendations and we will happily oblige. If you are looking for charm, if you're looking for views, if you're looking for a slower pace of life, then Benalmádena Pueblo is for you.
Benalmádena Pueblo
It's quaint.
Ticks all the boxes.
Yeah.
Really for that.
So then I'm going to come back down the hill then, and we're going to hit Torrequebrada.
Mm-hmm.
So when I think of Torrequebrada, I think of golf lovers, I think of families, I think of luxury properties, I think of, what do you think of?
Yeah, Torrequebrada has it all. It's a lot of residents live there, and it's a really good community. And if you're looking to be away from it and to be more in the Spanish area, then Torrequebrada, you have a cosmopolitan, but you have mostly the Spanish residents there. Nice communities, good swimming pools, and you have your restaurants and bars and supermarkets, which is important to people. So Torrequebrada over the last few years is starting to really come up, but especially properties around the golf courses like Finca Donna Maria. You've got a nice option there.
Yeah, and I think it's fair to say all of the areas that we've spoke about are all, within really close proximity to local hospitals, but also Zanet International Hospital, which is a very popular healthcare facility among foreigners because they can opt to get healthcare support in English, which is fantastic. They're all close to international and local schools because Benalmádena, although it sounds like it's huge and very large with lots of different areas, it's really easy to navigate and get amongst these different areas. So irregardless of where you choose to be it Benalmádena Costa or Torrequebrada, you're going to be close to schools, both local and international, and healthcare facilities.
Yeah, and absolutely. And the place that I love in Benalmádena is the next town is Torremuelle, where you have the British International School. And since the British International School has been there over the last 10 years, you have beautiful villas with stunning views in the area of Torremuelle from 800,000 up to, I've seen villas there up to 5 million.
Yeah.
But it is a really good location as well, nice restaurants, and don't forget you have the train station.
Absolutely, we often forget about that as well, which is a great benefit. Fantastic. So we've really dived into, I guess, the price points, the types of properties in those price points, the areas that you can expect to get in Benalmádena. Again, just highlighting what you get for your money here and why I'm always shocked that as a location, it's often so overlooked compared to the more popular destinations and towns like Marbella, but Benalmádena should not be overlooked.
And don't forget our favourite place, the Puerto Marina. The properties that you can get there are spectacular, and it's literally on the sea. The marina has been voted the best marina in the world for a few times. So if you haven't been to Benalmádena, go to the marina. But it's surrounded by amazing apartments on the islands with fantastic views. So that is a really good option if you just wanted to buy a property and be in the thick of it for a second home or anything like that. The Puerto Marina is the place to be.
Yeah, we've seen some lovely ones there recently, which have, really ticked all the boxes. So it's fantastic. I have a question for you, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, but what surprises buyers most about Benalmádena?
Oh, you did put me on the spot there. I think what surprises them is how homely it feels compared to Fingerroll or Torremolinos or anything like that. If you're coming to the Costa del Sol and you get the train and you just got off and you got off in Arroyo de la Miel, for me, it just felt like home rather than, Fingerroll or there's, train station, it's crazy busy. It feels like a city, but Benalmádena, I think they're really surprised of what you can do with the family, the resources that are here. Like you've got Parque Paloma, which was one of the most famous parks in Malaga, and then you've got the Sea Life Centre in the Marina. So there's loads for them to do, and I think they're very surprised at that, and also what they can get for their money.
Yeah, I agree. Just to add on to that, from a buyer perspective, I think 3 weeks ago now, we had a family working with you from Amsterdam or close to Amsterdam. They were relocating. Friends of theirs had relocated to Malaga recently and they bought centre of Malaga, and the friends had advised them, look, for a family element, maybe not the perfect location that we were looking for. And their friends recommended to them to look to Benalmádena, but it had never been on their radar.
No.
They came to see a townhouse that we have, beautiful townhouse in Torremuelle, and they were so surprised about the area, proximity to international schools, the life they could have for themselves and their kids, that they actually ended up putting an offer in and buying. But initially, Benalmádena was never even on their radar, but they got everything for their budget here, which was just, a win-win. I think you were getting emotional there again when you talk about Benalmádena.
Oh, well, I'm the Benalmádena king, so I love when people talk about it.
Great. So we hope that you've enjoyed our deep dive and discussion into Benalmádena, what's available here and what you can get for your money. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.